What's up, my fabulous love bug goodies? Welcome back to your channel and to my kitchen, how to cook. Today we're making Jamaican stew peas and rice in the kitchen, fast, easy and simple. Make sure you subscribe goodie if you have not, and turn on your post notifications so you won't miss any other upload of all I'm returning goodie. On a don't know set on a girl loving up on a ready for cook. Come on, let's cook. Alright goodies, let's jump into the kitchen and talk about our ingredients. Here we have our pigtail here. This is corn pigtail that I purchased in Food Depot. Cheap and affordable, right? It's nice and has a salt little flavor to it, and I like the flavor that it gives from the smokiness of the pigtail, right? And this again, I purchased this in Food Depot. The closest that I could come to having pigtail for my rice and peas, some stew peas, for whatever I want to add it to. Alright, so I'm going to add some smoked turkey drumsticks here. This is also from the Food Depot. Now, of course, you could substitute this out and use whatever other kind of meat that you like for your stew peas. But for this particular recipe, I'm going to be adding some smoked turkey drums to it that I'm going to chop before I add it into the recipe, okay? Now, alright, so up next, let's talk about our other ingredients here for sure. Now, you're going to add some red kidney beans. I'm using the Liberia brand. You could use any other brand of your choice. This is just the closest that I could come to some red kidney bean because of where I'm living. I'm also going to add some minced garlic to it also. Of course, you can add fresh one to it. I'm going to add a couple of bay leaves here. Okay, and then you're going to add some allspice. You definitely can't skip that. You can use powdered one for sure. Okay, but this is the Jamaican allspice pimento seeds. We're going to add some seasonings to give it a little bit of flavor here. So I'm going to add some combo seasoning, or you could use all-purpose seasoning or any kind of seasoning of your choice. And then we're going to go in with a little bit of black pepper and definitely a pinch of salt. All right. So you want to make sure that you have these main ingredients, and add a little bit of ground ginger or fresh ginger. I just happen to not have any fresh ginger, so I'm going to use some ground ginger to the recipe. Yeah, but that's about it so far. So good so far. And for the rice and peas, we're going to use some basmati rice today, right? I'm not going to show you how I made that because I just uploaded a recipe showing you how to make gungo peas, but I'm definitely going to be using my favorware here, and I'm definitely going to do another video to explain this favorware because I had uploaded a video showing you guys this one while back, and there's a lot of comments on that video, so I'm going to do an updated one about how I use mine. But this is what I'm going to be using to make my stew peas and rice. Y'all, you better go out and grab you one. This thing here changed my cooking experience forever. All right, so we're going to start off with the meat, and let's get the elephant out of the room. I'm not cooking for y'all, okay, in the comments talking about nails and all them something there. I'm cooking for me and my family, okay? That's just on period. Make us get the elephant out of the way so I don't have to write nothing about no foolishness in the comment section, okay? Period. Alright, so I'm going to go in starting to cut up my smoked turkey drumsticks. Of course, you could always substitute that out and do whatever else that you want to use as far as meat is concerned, but I'm just going to go in and just chop it up into 2 pieces here. We don't want to do it too small because remember, I'm going to be using my favorware. Now my favorware is so good, it doesn't overcook your meat. It is just perfect. If you're going to use a pressure cooker, I wouldn't recommend you doing this for sure. Okay, you may have to just go ahead and cook your peas in your pressure, but then add the smoked turkey drumsticks to the pot. Like if your peas is half cooked, then you add the turkey drumsticks in it. But if you are going to do stovetop style, cook your peas first, okay? Because I'm using smoke here, it's kind of half cooked. So by the time the peas is done, the meat might get overcooked. So yeah, I'm just doing this method just to show you guys how I cook it with the favorware. If you guys happen to have one of this little device here or thinking about getting one, because there is so much questions and concerns about the favorware, okay? And I just pretty much in that video showed you guys how I used it pretty much explain how I use it, okay? I'm not have to go by the book, but I'm gonna go by what's best for me in that video, okay? So yeah, but again, if you're not using this flavor, if you don't have it, just go ahead and use the stovetop, all right? Or if you're using your pressure, cook the peas and then add the meat into it later on. All right, so I'm gonna give it a nice little rinse here under cold running water. We're adding some vinegar to clean it up and all that stuff. Just make sure to wash off your meat, okay? Whatever you're cooking, you want to give it a nice little rinse, a nice little wash. You could use lemon, you could add a little bit of salt to it and rinse it off, but just kind of rinse off your meat before you actually start cooking it, okay? Like that's on period. You don't want to cook anything that is not washed. Poultry, okay, wash it. Fish, steak, anything like that, you wash it off with some cold running water, okay? All right, so it looks pretty much like that. Very nice. Added some vinegar to it. Like I said before, I'm just using plain white vinegar. If you don't have that, you could use any kind of a vinegar that you have around your home. You go ahead and use that, apple cider or any other vinegar that you have. Just go ahead and rinse it off really good until the water becomes nice and clear, pretty much like so. And then what I'm going to do after I'm done with that process, I'm going to go in and add some water to it to balance it out. But give it a really good wash. As you can see, a lot of you guys say, oh, you don't have to wash your meat, but in my kitchen we wash everything. Now here I am adding the peas. I'm giving the peas a nice little rinse also, okay? Just rinse everything off here, and then I'm going to level it off with some water. Now if you're using the favorware has measurements inside of it, okay? I'm gonna bring it up to about 3 to 4 cups of water, like so. Now we're going to season up this baby. So I'm adding just a tad bit of salt to it for flavor. And after I add the salt in, I'm going to add some black pepper because you want to be sure that this thing is flavored from start to finish. So after you add your salt and pepper, you want to add some allspice, pimento seeds or pimento berry. If you don't have that one, use the powdered one, but don't skip your pimento seeds, all right? I'm going to add like 2 or 3 bay leaves to it. And then we're going to add a ground ginger. And again, if you have fresh one, just go ahead and chop up a piece of it and throw it in the thing, right? All right, so after that, we are going to go in and we're going to add our combo season. Now, the combo season is used as an all-purpose seasoning. You could add whatever. If you don't have that, that's fine. It's not going to make a difference. I'm adding some homemade green seasoning to it also. I do have the recipe on my channel. And then I'm also going to add some chopped garlic to it. And a little bit of vinegar, because why? I love vinegar upon everything, and vinegar make it look young forever, okay? All right, so now I'm going to go in with my favorware, put that baby up in there. That's all I'm doing here. And then I'm just plugging it in, and then we are going to set it, okay? Close it up, just like so. All right, I don't know how you guys use yours, but this is how I use mine. Now, when I'm cooking like this, something like this, I usually just put it on number 5. Now after 30 minutes, it's cooked in 30 minutes. I pour it out in my cooking pot. All right. So this is where the magic really happens here. Now we're going to finish seasoning this thing up because it's already cooked. We just need to finish up the seasoning process. Now I'm going to add some coconut milk here, about 2 cups of fresh coconut. You could use a canned one. If you're going to use a canned one, use an entire can. Then we add in some tomatoes, onions, scallion and thyme, and some hot Scotch Bonnet Pepper here to it. Go ahead and add that. A lot of you guys don't like tomato. You can leave it out, but in my kitchen, I add tomato in my stew peas. Okay, my kitchen. All right, now after I've had all those seasonings, now you definitely want to add your spinners, because you can't make stew peas and rice without spinners. You just can't. You just cannot. So I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour is what I have here. Added some water to it, and then we are going to make our spinners. Now it should look something like this, okay? Now you want to go in and add your spinners to it. And you don't want to make them too overly big. You don't want to make them really small either. You just want them to be like a medium size. It doesn't matter how much spinach you get out of this 1 cup of flour. The more the merrier, because trust me, them spinach tastes good in the rice and peas on the rice. Okay, so just go ahead and add your spinach in and get that thing in the stew peas. And then when you are done, it's going to look something like that. You're going to kind of wake it up just a tad bit. I have my fire here at a medium heat, you guys. Okay, not too high. You see, I'm just kind of waking it up. But I really don't want to bother the spinach too much for them sink. It's going to sink when it starts cooking. Okay, when it starts bubbling and simmering down. Now, at this point, you want to give it a taste test just to make sure that all your seasonings are how you want it, your flavor, your taste buds. For me, I did give it a taste test and I figured I needed just a little bit more of all-purpose seasoning or something. So I just added some regular seasoning to it. Anything that you like is fine. You could leave it right here, but for me, because me cook everything extra, I did go in and add a little bit more flavor to the pot. And that was all that I did. All right, just give it a taste like me right there. Let you taste it up. All right, and then I added some total season to it, and that was it. I didn't spin it around. I just let it sit on top and let it cook with the seasonings on top, and then cover it up. And about 30 minutes later, I came back. My stew peas was done. The rice isn't done yet, but the stew peas was all done. Look at that. Nice. Everything came together really good. And again, I did have the fire stay at a medium heat. You don't want to put this at a high heat because it's going to cook too fast and you're going to have your spinach sinking in the bottom of the pot and it's going to stick and it's going to burn. So let's let it at a medium heat, and that is it. That is perfectly done. It smells amazing. I did turn it down at a very low heat, like almost off, so that I could get my rice going and have my stew peas not burn but stay warm on the stove top. But yeah, that is it. My stew peas and rice is done. If you guys don't like turkey, you could always substitute for oxtails or any kind of other meat that you like. But let's start cooking this rice. Now in a pot, I'm going to add my rice here. I'm going to try to measure this as much as I can for you guys, okay? Now I did had about two cups, 2 2/4 cups of rice. So I added 2 cups first of the basmati rice, and then I added 3/4 of a cup extra rice to it. I did add that also to it. Is what I did. No, I know. I think I'm wrong right here, you guys. I added 2 cups of the rice. Okay, is what I did. And then because I'm making white rice, basmati rice is filled with starch, so I go ahead and I rinse it off thoroughly. If I was making parboiled rice, I wouldn't go through that because I'm going to wash off all of the nutrients in the sink. Okay, now this is where you start really cooking this white rice with flavor. So I went in and added 1 cup, you guys, of coconut milk, and just add a little bit more water to it, just not to lose all of that good flavor, and pour it out into the container here. Okay, then I added some seasoning, any kind of seasoning that you like, you put it in there. I just added some of that Ocherous combo seasoning to it, and I added salt for flavor, of course. Alright, so you're gonna eat fresh rice. Then I added some thyme, fresh thyme, and I added some fresh scallions to it. Alright, after you add the scallion, honey, that thing is already smelling good and it don't even hit the stove top yet. Okay, now you want to cook this thing at a between low to medium heat is what you want to do here for sure. Okay, then you want to add your butter. Make sure that you had some butter to it. I did use unsalted butter, maybe about 2 tablespoons of that butter, and then I placed it on the stove top at a low to medium heat. And I covered it up with some foil, totally optional for you, but a must for me. And then just nicely seal it closely so that all the steam would stay in there and do what it need to do. Okay, it does take, I'll say, maybe about 40 minutes to cook. But if you check it after 40 minutes and it still feel like it's need a little bit of cooking time, you could always add a little bit of water in the middle of the pot or put it around the perimeter of the pot, maybe like about 3 tablespoons of water, and just cover it up at a low heat and let it cook. All right, now after that time has passed, you're gonna have one of the most delicious tasting white rice in your kitchen ever. Okay, perfect. This basmati rice came out absolutely positively nice and shelly and filled with nothing but coconut flavor. Okay, island flavor. If you have never cooked your rice like this, give it a try, because you will absolutely love this method of cooking your white rice. Okay, filled with nothing but flavors. There's nothing blank about this thing. It's filled with nothing but total absolute goodness. Okay, so give it a try and let me know how you like it. Just come back and tell me how you like it when you try it. But yeah, the rice is finished, the stew piece is finished, you guys. I did go in and add some other things, some side things to the meal. I made some plantains, and I did make some vegetables, a little bit of lettuce with tomatoes. That was about it. Served it up really good on the platter, honey, and let me tell you something, this thing was busting. It was busting real good. So tell a friend bring them come goodie and send them come. I'm waiting. All right, and when you get done doing all of that, make sure to send a thumbs it up doing it before you leave now. And when you're done doing all of that, tell me where you want to see me cook next in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen. Enjoy.